So I'm not the most political on this channel, but this is something I just can't not make a video about. If you haven't been paying attention, there was a bit of a scuffle at the Capitol building the other day. Just a little scuffle. The Capitol building is basically the place where they make all the laws. Trump Jr. hosted a rally. It was like any other Trump rally. He was convinced the election had been stolen from him, and he spent the rest of the time convincing all of his supporters that they were robbed of an election. So before the video starts, here's a highlight compilation of all Donald Trump's successes before he became the president. Turns out he never really did anything good ever. So here's a clip of him degrading women without knowing his mic is on. He's really smart, by the way. That's why he's the president.
I did try and fuck her. She was married. I moved on her like a bitch. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
The exact moment the US signed up for chaos, failure, division, riots was the 20th of January 2017 when an ex-assistant producer on Celebrity Apprentice, a man that went bankrupt I don't know how many times, got sworn in as the United States president. That's when all hope was gone.
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Let's have trial by combat.
The man literally said trial by combat. He's living in a fucking Sparta movie. That doesn't just happen. You can't just say that and expect them to storm the Capitals with swords and start decapitating Democrats.
This is Sparta!
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy.
Keep that in mind. Assault on our democracy. Assault on our democracy.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
They're going to cheer on the congressmen and women. Cheer on. When the rally was over, the Donald Trump supporters did exactly what he said to do. They all marched down to the Capitol building, but he wasn't there with them. Straight after the rally, Trump got in his car and drove back to the White House, we thought. But then this clip came out of him in a tent with this kid and whoever the hell else. They were in this tent watching everything happen with a bunch of monitors all over the place like they had this planned out already. After they got there in their thousands, it didn't take them that long to figure out there's not that many cops here, why not let's just try and take over the whole place. Just make it our own. And this is how that went down.
And one other thing I would say, Lester, is, you know, as we try to figure out,
well,
it looks now like the Capitol.
They're just running up there. Look at that. Look at that.
Let me break away from you a second.
Waving that flag up and down.
Yeah, because things are happening very quickly there on the
east side of the Capitol. Over the place now. That seemed just a bit too easy, but it was a lot easier for some Trump supporters than others. Instead of walking up the stairs in thousands, some of them decided, let's just scale a building. And this is how that went. There's stairs 20 feet away, and she's deciding to scale a wall. Oh! I don't know why she couldn't just take the stairs like everyone else. They eventually made their way in, whether that was after beating up police officers.
This egregious assault on our democracy. Down to the Capitol.
Or maybe you were lucky and the police officer was on your side and just moves the barriers and points you in the right direction. Or there was the easy way. You steal a bunch of police shields, you get your flags, you go to the closest window, smash the shit out of it, and make your way into one of the most secure buildings in America. Yeah, that makes sense. When they got in there, they had a lot to say. They didn't seem to think that showing your face on TV wasn't the best thing to do after breaking into a government building.
Because of storming Congress itself.
Because they work for us.
That's true.
They don't get to steal it from us. They don't get to tell us we didn't see what we saw.
What did you see? What did you see?
We were good people. The government did this to us. We were normal, good, law-abiding citizens, and you guys did this to us. We want our...
Okay. He starts off with saying we're good people, the government did this to us. He's saying that they were good people and they were forced to break the law because the government betrayed them. We were good people, you did this to us. The government didn't tell you to do this. Donald Trump did, okay? You didn't have to listen to him. You decided to break into a government building because you're just a fucking genius. You're really smart. You're really, really smart.
Country back! We are protesting for our freedom right now!
I'm sorry guys as well. Look, this is what scares me. The Donald Trump supporters come to rallies dressed as army soldiers. They dress up in military gear, like bulletproof vests, and he also has this little I voted sticker there as well, but he has a fucking gas mask and a helmet on, okay?
The purpose of storming Congress.
How do I know that?
Oh my god! He asked what was the purpose of storming Congress, and he said, how would I know that? Why the fuck are you there if you don't know why you're there? Anyway, long story short, they got in, they took their pictures, whether that was in the Senate where all the guys do their arguing and say, no, I want this, I want that, or they got their picture in the Speaker of the House's office and ransacked the place. But they just let them walk out the place.
We've been in there, there ain't nothing going on in there. Peaceful. Yeah!
One of them even mentioned when he's coming out the door, let's go get a beer. I get that a lot of these Trump guys are anti-maskers, but when you're committing a federal crime like breaking into a government building, maybe that's the one time you might be pro-mask, unless you don't give a fuck if you get arrested or not. But by now your face is plastered over the internet, so you're kind of done. But I've searched the internet just to find out who Trump supporters really are. Let's have a look. So here's the first Trump supporter I found on TikTok. Very good place to find crazy people. So here's the first Trump supporter I found on TikTok.
Back the fuck up! Who you were with, you're all freaking fake news. You're all pieces of shit. You're traitors to America.
Guys, that guy was running at the news reporter. He was fucking legging it at her. And now this woman's accusing us of being cowards.
Show us your face!
Showing your face there is one of the stupidest things you could have done, lady. I've seen this clip before, but it's hilarious, so I'm gonna show it to you. You have to be paying attention to understand how this is so funny, okay? You have to be paying attention.
Donald Trump is our first superhero president.
He's the first superhero president. He's a fucking hero, guys. He is a superhero. He's not a villain. What happened the other day, not the acts of a villain, sign of a hero.
You're pro-life.
Of course.
It's important for Americans to do whatever they can to protect a human life.
Yes.
Why aren't you wearing a mask?
Mm-hmm.
We're not sheep.
So you're gonna look at what everybody's doing and you're gonna follow
That's
along.
it.
Yeah. But not sheep.
Not sheep.
He said they're not cheap, but he says no one else puts a mask on, you follow along. Yeah, but we're not cheap.
Are you in a better place than you were 4 years ago?
Absolutely.
This is the fucking funniest part, okay? This is the funniest part. Pay attention.
I'm literally making 4 times as much as I was making when Obama was president.
What do you do?
I work for a debt relief company.
Yeah.
Guys, so this guy doesn't even seem to grasp. Under Trump, he has more work. When Barack Obama was in presidency, he didn't have enough work. That means a lot less people weren't going broke. That means a lot less people weren't getting their homes taken away and all their belongings stripped from them. But since Donald Trump has come into power, this guy makes 4 times as much. Just like I said earlier, the one time you should be pro-mask. What do you do after you storm the Capitol building? You walk up to a stranger with their phone and tell them your name, where you're from, and what you're fucking doing.
What happened to you?
I got maced.
You got maced.
By the police.
She got maced by the police doing their job.
I made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
Now I'm going to show you the Trump supporters I found on Twitter. I'm going to show you what I found. But let me tell you what the hashtags that are trending all are related to everything I'm about to show you. Number 1, MAGA terrorist. Number 2, no fly list. And number 3, Trump insurrection. Let's find out who the Trump supporters on Twitter really are.
You treat me like a black person!
Did you hear what he just said? Let me replay that for you. Let me replay that for you one more time, okay?
You treat me like a black person!
What else do I have to say about that? That guy's a cunt. And guys, this is another picture that I found, okay? This is what Trump supporters were doing near the Capitol building when all the rioting was going on. They literally built a gallows rope. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's what it says here, and it says hashtag MAGA terrorist. They have built a rope to hang the vice president. That shows you who they are. Batshit insane. These guys probably went home to their mom's house and are chilling. He dressed up as a fucking Viking with the American flag painted across his face. This is what he sounds like and what he had to say about everything that went on, okay? This guy's fucking mad.
Hold the line, Patriots, because God wins.
Awesome, man.
For those of you that don't know who Q is the highest levels of the military and the intelligence community in the United States.
He seems intelligent, but he acts like a dumbass. The next video I'm about to show you is a police officer helping the Trump supporters get into the Capitol building. This is what I was fucking shocked about, guys. Watch this. This guy's gotta get sacked. I found this picture, okay, and I think it's a really good comparison. Up here on the top left, we got a picture of the Americans pro-Trump, and on the right, we got some terrorists from the Middle East, I'm assuming. On the left-hand side, we got them driving in convoy through America. We got them driving through convoy in the Middle East. Then we got an American girl, I'm not sure, is that a Bible or not, with the fucking, I don't know, guns, a rifle, I don't know, and then with the American flag in the background. And then we got a girl, I think with the Quran or something, with the, I don't know if that's a semi-automatic like her, and then a flag. But basically it's the same thing. But the hypocritical part of this is, all these guys on the left claim that all these guys are terrorists. But the truth is, they're all the same. Now guys, the next video I'm about to show you seems like it's staged, but this is how easy it was to just walk into the Capitol building. And I'm not saying I would have done anything different as a cop, but just watch this.
What's about to happen?
What?
I'm pressed.
No, you can't come in. Nobody can come in.
You can't come in. No one come in. And swarms of people just walk right by you into a government building you're supposed to protect. But I'm not saying I wouldn't have done the same, because I would be afraid of those fucking nutters. These guys are fucking insane. And guys, I wanted to show you this as a serious point. This is a picture during the Black Lives Matter protest of a gang of guys gathering around a police officer by himself, protecting him from all the people that want to beat him up. This is what the Trump supporters did to the police. And the Trump supporters, Blue Lives Matter to them. They walk around with Blue Lives Matter flags, but they beat the shit out of cops. And this is the guy that I was showing you earlier in the video. This guy right here beats the cop with the flag. This guy's a cunt. Here's a very good example of what Trump supporters are like. Watch this. Remember, they're not sheep.
If everybody was wearing them and everybody said put a mask on, I would respect everybody's wishes and put it on. We're not sheep.
So you're gonna look at what everybody's doing and you're gonna follow
That's
along.
it.
Yeah, but not sheep.
Not sheep.
They're not sheep. I just showed you the guy that beat the cop with an American flag. This is the guy's face. Listen to what this crackhead, crazy, cunt, coward of a man says. This is what he has to say.
Death is the only remedy for what's in that building. Well, you need to stand up and you need to scrap. Everybody in there is a treasonous traitor.
Death is the only fix to what's going on in there. Death. I don't know which cops or who died, but maybe he said this just before or just after he beat the shit out of a cop, causing his death. Since I started making this video, 2 cops have died. And that's all because they wanted to go and cheer on fellow Republicans. Also, Trump came out with an apology. It basically just said he had nothing to do with anything. Nothing is ever his fault. So basically, it wasn't even an apology. This is what he had to say in his so-called apology video.
I want to be very clear. I unequivocally condemn the violence that we saw last week.
He said he condemns the violence that happened last week, but he was at a rally with the same man that said, let's have trial by combat.
Let's have trial by combat.
He knew what his supporters were like. He knew they were batshit insane. and he still said, let's march down and cheer on the congressmen and women. But we're not going to cheer for all of them. That's what he said.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
Making America great again has always been about defending the rule of law, supporting the men and women of law enforcement.
He talks about supporting the men and women in uniform, but his supporters literally went to the Capitol building and beat the shit out of a bunch of cops. He took their shields, their batons, crushed them between doors. They beat the shit out of them with American flags. 2 of your supporters that follow your movement killed 2 cops. He says his movement is all about supporting the men and women in uniform. I think you need to make that a bit more clear to your supporters.
And upholding our nation's most sacred traditions and values.
He talks a bunch of shit about upholding the nation's most sacred laws and traditions, but he keeps making the accusations that this whole election was a fraud.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
Him saying that means he doesn't believe in the democratic process of their election, so he doesn't agree with the nation's most sacred laws and traditions. If he could, he'd make America a dictatorship, so him and his family would run the country until the end of time. This was not an apology video. This was a I have nothing to do with it, do not blame me video. This does not fall in line with any apology video. He's just pointing fingers at other people saying he had nothing to do with anything. Thankfully, since I started making this video, a bunch of people have been arrested. The crazy guy that dressed up as a Viking, the ginger with the tomato face that stole a stand was arrested. The guy that broke into Nancy Pelosi's office and left a note, I'm pretty sure he was arrested. When I saw on the news a picture of this one man that they were looking for and he was plastered all over the news, this guy was caught wearing Auschwitz merch at the Capitol building. Auschwitz merch, okay? If Trump thinks he supports peaceful, loving, normal people, he's away with the fucking fairies. He's got supporters walking around wearing Auschwitz hoodies at his protests. Guys, I think Donald Trump finally did it. I think this was his mission all along. The mission being dividing America more than it already was. I think Donald Trump is America's most successful stupid person ever. I truly believe anything is possible if a man like him, the first orange president, can be elected. He's just a sign of hope for all the other Oompa Loompas trying to break out of the chocolate factory to make a life for themselves. He has shown them that he can do great things like become the President of the United States. It really is an American success story, from chocolate factory to White House. Well guys, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it very educational. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, because nobody has them on. And you will see my lovely face again soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. This concludes this video.